I was in court today, and one or two sections, the solicitor I had said it was Section 6 was very serious, that I was trying to incite a riot by teaching or talking or saying things in public, which is kind of cool because that's what Jesus got done for. But I wasn't inciting a riot, no. So yeah, I've got a lot of fume to blow. Court today, basically, there was a lot of drug charges, basically, mainly everything in Braid. I don't say anything about Braid, the district court that I was in, excuse me, was mainly drug charges. And there was lads laughing, gone away for 4 years. Oh, 2 years wouldn't be bad, a few weeks here, this, that. Family's been very disturbed and ruined. I was there from 9:30 in the morning till 5 o'clock, and I'm peed off about that. These people are going to be put away for maybe 2 years, 4 years. Friendly kind of lads, you know what I mean? They're just, I'm going to get onto this, they're just products of their environment. So it annoyed me anyway, all this time that was spent mainly dealing with possession of a very depressed nation, or unapplied nation, a nation with no direction, a nation with no enthusiasm, and a lot of people are on drugs. Now, the rich people in the world won't let me teach, they're poxy posh kids, or they won't let me teach the world at large, so I'm going to teach yous. Like Jesus did. And I'm not causing a riot, but you're well informed enough anyway, you're grown-ups. So I'm going to talk about drugs. My future drugs are going to be very mature. Sorry, my brain's not great these days. There's going to be changes anyway. If I'm in the future regarding drugs, there's going to be a lot more drugs. See, homosexuality used to be repressed and illegal, and people kind of went to toilets and back alleys and forests and stuff because they were repressed. So when you repress things, they get squashed underground, and eventually they spill out everywhere. So look at the homeless, that drug crisis all over America and other places. They go together a bit, homelessness and drugs, because you squashed drugs into the underbelly, illegal and repressed in society. So people go to public toilets and back alleys and forests the same way to take their drugs, because it's repressed and illegal. Nothing to compare it as one thing's bad or the other thing's bad, or this is what people did, but people did this when it was repressed and illegal, and you have drugs which are repressed and illegal. So that's why it's corrupting society, really, is because they're not maturely dealing with it. And I'm going to tell you about the maturity which your governments and stuff deal with drugs. Your government make drugs, okay? America, my country in Ireland, they've got a crack lab in Artane and some heroin labs. They don't import it into my country. We go stale, I'd imagine, and ship containers going overseas and stuff. There's a massive supply and demand as well, So governments make drugs, okay? This is the joke about it. It's terrible. They put them on their streets. They put their drugs basically on their own streets. And then they hold you responsible when you find them, pick them up, or come by them. It's a bad joke. So then they have to justify this. They're saying, oh no, we have a war on drugs. So then you have all these guards and policemen pretending practically to have a war on drugs. Basically shipping and overseeing, or, steadily governing the distribution. You can't get this here, but you can get it there and stuff, they're just guiding it more so, but they still hold you responsible. In the Marxism of the event, if I found my kid with drugs, I would take the drugs with my kid, walk down to my local TD, throw the drugs on the table. Why did my child find these drugs on your streets? China's a republic and there's no drugs in China. Ireland's a republic and it's an island and we've got a steady supply of drugs. So it's a bad republic, it's I'm not going to change or take your drugs away, Ireland, on you, but if you were a republic, they'd have control over that. They have control over it and they don't stop it. You'd all go crazy, I know you'd all go crazy. But it's a bad joke. It's a really bad joke. They make them, put them out there, and they hold you then personally responsible, and then you get your life destroyed, and you spend 4 or 6 years in prison, your life's messed up, set back, because they hold you responsible for this bad joke. So maybe if they had sports bars where you could take coke or something, or you could buy, I don't know, license in marijuana cafes and stuff, where drugs weren't so repressed and held down. I'm not going to say much about heroin. No one really needed heroin in the first place, but then you can't live without it. So I'm not supporting heroin because I can't support that. But yeah. So it's just a really bad joke, and that's what I'm saying. Lives get ruined because of this bad joke. Their lives aren't getting ruined. The Gardaí are laughing. They're wealthy. They're shipping. They're distributing. They're confiscating it. They're putting it back on the streets. You know, they get drug busts on the news every day. Terrible news on Ireland. But then you get like drug busts, and we busted someone because they're pretending to have a war on drugs. Pretending to have a war on drugs. And they're even drug advocating, not drug happy, or it's just a thing you have to like deal with and live with. You can call them drugs, but like, the hell isn't a drug?